Hey everybody, so how are we doing today? John Mcafee. Crazy? Probably. But if he weren't innocent, then why is it so hard to get a conviction? That is the question I would ask you. But he has made a statement recently saying that, I will fucking bury you. McAfee vows to expose corrupt U.S. officials and CIA agents if disappeared. Quote, disappeared. Which I'm pretty sure is not a thing. There's not much evidence to say that's something the government has ever done or knows how to do, but... You know, conspiracy theories and all that. Bitcoin evangelist John Mcafee has threatened to bury the U.S. government if they keep harassing him over unpaid taxes, promising to leak a huge trove of files proving corruption throughout Washington and its allies. He says, I've collected files on corruption in governments for the first time. I'm naming names and specifics, McAfee warned, in a string of tweets stretching back to Sunday, vowing to release over 31 terabytes of incriminating data to the press if arrested or otherwise disappeared. He posted the names of a corrupt CIA and 2 Bahamian officials, along with claims they'd taken bribes and been involved with drug trafficking, apparently to show he was not bluffing. He also well, here's the tweet. It says, for my followers, my recent tweets are less for you than they are for my pursuers. They are shots across the bow. Leave me the fuck alone or go down with the corruption you have embraced, because I will fucking bury you if you continue. Doubt me at your own fucking risk. My, that is a lot of F-bombs. He also promised to release the names of 25 congressmen and 5 senators from both parties who are coming up for re-election in 2020 and who must be recalled, and if that fails, booted out of office on Election Day on Friday. I am not implying that our entire government is corrupt. I am saying that it is corrupt to the point that no one is untouched by it. And it's just a video of him talking, claiming the Department of Justice was cooking up murder, racketeering, and money laundering charges against him in the hope of extraditing him from the Bahamas, locking him up for tax evasion. McAfee pointed out that the last attempt at framing him, when authorities in Belize raided his home and charged him with running a drug operation, failed. The U.S. government has never faced a foe like me before, McAfee declared, promising to suffer his onslaught no longer. Well, yeah, I've looked into that. There was a failed drug charge. They didn't have any evidence. There's also a failed charge about him supposedly hiring a hitman. Lack of evidence. I mean, if he were guilty, there would be more evidence than that, right? I suppose he could simply hide or cover up the evidence, which I'm sure he could. But even then, no one's perfect. There'd always be a trace of something. There'd be something more than what's available. So I think what's going on is that the IRS and our government is trying to go above and beyond the call of duty, as it were, to try and get him for tax evasion, even if it means they have to make something up. His only crime is tax evasion. That is all I think it is, and they're just going just a little too nut shit in trying to catch him. But anyway, another tweet of his is that a clip of a conversation this afternoon between ex-CIA station head Robert David Steele and myself. If anyone doubts my dark mood, please read this. Robert Steele responds, burn his ass, take photos, I will post them. Probably not a real case officer, just a lightweight paramilitary. Johnny B. Good. Mr. Steele, I'm no longer in the shadows. I've kept my peace and taken no action against pretended friend and outright foe alike. Well, something. Yeah, but McAfee has been the target of a murder accusation before. Yeah, the one where he claimed that he tried to hire a hitman, but there was like no evidence. He just wants to be left alone. The programmer who made millions of his McAfee antivirus software and later made millions more off Bitcoin admitted in January that he hasn't filed his income tax in 8 years. Gave several reasons for not doing so, including, I'm done making money, and the always popular taxation is illegal. Well, actually, it's not. You could say taxation is theft, which definitionally speaking, it kind of is. It fits the definition of theft in the dictionary, but illegal is not the right way to put it. McAfee announced in January he was running for president in exile on a platform promoting the use of cryptocurrencies, currently living aboard a yacht in the Caribbean that he has called the Freedom Boat. But get this, guys. This is where he gets really crazy. Because John McAfee is definitely, he's not really 100% connected to reality. There's something a little off about the guy. And this right here, I think, kind of makes my point for me. He claimed he would use masked doppelgangers to campaign in the U.S. How strange do you have to be on the run and still trying to campaign for the President of the United States? To be on the run in a boat in the middle of the Caribbean, but then have your campaign handled by a bunch of masked doppelgangers. That doesn't sound strange to you? Like maybe he's a little unhinged mentally? Because I think he is. I think he's a little nuts. It's like, I like his politics, actually. I like his politics a lot. But overall, I'd say John McAfee is... he is not the sanest among us. That much is certain. I think his situation is simply that the IRS wants him and wants him badly. And they're willing to coordinate with other government agencies to bring false charges if that means bringing him in. I think which means would add up to them being overzealous, going above and beyond what would normally be seen as necessary, which I think is actually kind of insane. Reality, stranger than fiction. Anyway.